Black Panther literally just came out, unless you're watching this in the future, in which case it's probably been out for a while. Just like any other Marvel film, there's a ton of Easter eggs throughout that you may or may not have caught during your first watch of the movie. So of course, Top 10 Nerd has got you covered, and compiled a list of the best Easter eggs featured in the film. But fair warning, this list has a ton of spoilers. And at number 10, coming out. Post-credit scenes have become a bit of an expected cliche when it comes to superhero movies, to the point where it's even parodied. Thank you, Deadpool. Black Panther is no exception. It actually has 2 post-credit scenes. While we'll be touching on one of those a little later on, let's chat about the first one that appears midway through the credit sequence. A throwback to an earlier Marvel movie, this scene is T'Challa's "I am Iron Man" moment, where the character reveals Wakanda to the rest of the world, opening up in hopes that its advancements will aid in other global issues. And at number 9, Stan Lee. Another staple Easter egg in any Marvel movie is an appearance by Marvel legend and Black Panther co-creator Stan Lee. Did you guys spot him? He's one of the people in the South Korean casino, who ends up claiming T'Challa's poker chips for himself when he leaves them unattended next to Everett Ross. Sneaky. And at number 8, we have Battle Rhinos. In the big final battle of the film, we see T'Challa and Killmonger's forces go head to head. These forces also include W'Kabi's Battle Rhinos, who nearly threaten to turn the tide of the battle before T'Challa jumps in and takes them on himself. This is a reference to the 1998 Black Panther miniseries by Peter B. Gillis and Dennis Cohen, with T'Challa's takedown of one of the rhinos almost matching the panels exactly. And at number 7, What is Love? When Andy Serkis's Claw is being held in custody, he repeats a line over and over again. That line is from a 1993 song by Haddaway called What is Love, which was made extremely popular by a Saturday Night Live skit featuring Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan that later became the film A Night at the Roxbury. The song was also my mother's ringtone between 2005 and 2010, so this one was particularly fun for me.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
And at number 6, Killmonger's mask. When Killmonger and Ulysses Claw break into the British Museum looking for a vibranium artifact, Killmonger decides to nab a mask, which becomes part of his costume. The mask itself is a throwback to a mask that he wore in the comics during one of his earlier battles with Black Panther, specifically in his appearance in the 2008 Volume 4 run. Up next at 5, his suit. Black Panther's suit is pretty badass. Aside from its overall sleekness, its detail goes a long way in giving it character. The new suit that Shuri designs has mystic runes all over it, which, in the comics, serves more than an aesthetic purpose. It's taken from the Doom War story arc in the comics, where T'Challa started incorporating more magic into his combat tactics as an attempt to not be so reliant on vibranium. This is all while Shuri holds the mantle of Black Panther. Now, the story itself is a bit more complex than that, to be fair, but this is a short video, so. It's also important to note that the introduction of the vibranium nanomachines that make up T'Challa's suit act as an explanation for Tony Stark's bleeding edge Iron Man armor that has already been teased in the Avengers Infinity War trailer. And at number 4, Panther's Rage. When T'Challa first faces off against Killmonger, it's at the Warrior Falls, which is an important location. Warrior Falls is the place in the comics where these two had their very first encounter back in the 1970s during the Panther's Rage story arc by Don McGregor. What's even cooler is that in both the comic and the film, Killmonger tosses T'Challa over the falls. Up next at 3, what are those? One of the cheekier jokes in the film comes from Shuri's hilarious reaction to T'Challa's sandals. The joke is actually a reference to a video that went viral and spawned the "What are those" meme, a video where people were astonished by a police officer who had a unique choice of footwear, and had a very similar reaction to what Shuri has in the film.
What are those?
And at 2, Back to the Future. Speaking of footwear, Shuri's replacement for T'Challa's sandals is another major Easter egg in the movie. They're sneakers that fasten themselves around T'Challa's ankles, a reference to the future Nike sneakers that Marty McFly wears in Back to the Future 2. This is further implied when she reveals that the design was inspired by an old American movie that their father used to watch. Wonder what that could be. And finally, and at number 1, guess who's back? The second post-credit scene is a bit of a doozy. That's because it features a character that we've been missing for quite some time, the Winter Soldier himself, Bucky Barnes. Back in Captain America Civil War, Bucky was put on ice. Now in Wakanda, it's revealed that Shuri has deprogrammed Bucky, and he's in rehabilitation. Yeah, that's where that "another broken white boy to fix" line came from. But the bigger Easter egg comes in the form of what the local kids are calling Bucky. the White Wolf, who in the comics is a character who becomes an orphan after a plane crash, and is then adopted by T'Chaka, T'Challa's father. The White Wolf ends up dealing with prejudice via Wakanda's for his skin color, yet manages to rise in the ranks of the Wakanda Secret Police, then clashes with T'Challa and is exiled. A storyline that's practically recycled into Killmonger's arc in the film, but considering the content, it's likely that the real White Wolf won't be included in the movies. But perhaps some of the traits of the character may be redirected onto Bucky. Alright, there we have it, friends. What other Easter eggs did you notice in the movie? One of the big absent plot points points though was no mention of the Soul Gem, which we already know is in Wakanda. What do you guys think about that? Let us know all your thoughts and what you're excited for in those comments below. If you dug this video, please show some love by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. And if you can't wait till the Infinity War film comes out, why not check out some of our lists in our top 10 movies playlist that's flashing on your screen right now. Till then, thanks for watching. I've been Kelly Pally and this is Top 10 Nerd. Catch you all in the next one.